In the heart of a valley embraced by the towering mountains, there stands a metropolis that defies the limits of nature, the highest capital in the world, La Paz. Here, at an impressive 3,600 meters above sea level, life unfolds in a setting where the thin air marks the divide between wealth and simplicity, and its inhabitants have woven their existence around this geographical challenge. For those adventurers seeking to delve into these elevated lands, the body requires a period of adaptation of 2 to 3 days to acclimate to the oxygen scarcity that characterizes the region. As the plane begins its descent into this unique city, the captain warns of the notable altitude of the airport, preparing travelers for the possible impact of the altitude. Upon the city's welcome, it becomes evident that the journey involves more than a simple visit. It is an immersion into an environment where the lack of oxygen can manifest in symptoms such as shortness of breath, headaches, dizziness, and a general feeling of discomfort. This is the threshold to an experience that challenges both body and spirit, inviting visitors to immerse themselves in the culture, history, and life of a city that literally rises above the rest of the world. Bolivia, a land where the majesty of the Andes Mountains sketches the horizon, is not characterized by flatness. This country stands proud with peaks that challenge the sky, surpassing 6,000 meters, stretching across the territory and marking the pulse of its geography. In the heart of Los Yungas, a region shrouded in mist, the locals have woven a network of life through ancient steel cables. Here, men, women, and children defy gravity, moving over a labyrinth of metal lines that traverse the void like arteries of steel. Far from the technology of modern zip lines, these aerial paths, held by worn-out pulleys and covered by the rust of time, bear witness to stories suspended over the abyss. With no more security than that offered by dry leaves and fabrics used to moderate their speed, this community daily defies the limits. On the steep slopes of Yunga, where the land rises almost vertically towards the sky, the brave coca harvesters, known in the region as cocaleros, have found in flying their daily path. Crossing abysses of over 200 meters in just 30 seconds, these men and women choose to challenge the air rather than face the winding and steep terrain that would steal more than an hour of their journey. This unconventional method of transportation and coca leaf harvesting has taken root in the heart of their culture, especially since coffee cultivation lost its economic value, leaving coca as the bastion of their subsistence. Coca, an ancient crop revered since Inca times, has become the economic lung of Los Yungas. Bolivia, home to vast green fields of coca, leads its production on the continent, especially in these mountains, where the greenery of the plantations fades into the horizon. The leaves, more than a product, are a relief for the locals, a balm against fatigue and altitude, and a companion in long workdays, mitigating hunger and pain, keeping the community alert and vigorous. Life in Yunga is a portrait of humility and continuous effort. Every day, the coca farmers carry sacks that defy gravity, weighing over 20 kilos, on their backs as they ascend the hills and then fly to their destinations, bringing the fruits of their labor to the markets of La Paz. Thus, between the green of the plantations and the blue of the sky, another day of hard work begins, a cycle of life and survival woven in the heights of Bolivia. The path to the city is not easy. Despite not being used since 2007, the death road is composed of gravel and stones that disappear into gigantic cliffs with almost vertical drops of 1,000 meters. Its name is well-deserved, as it has caused numerous fatalities with its narrow and winding path. Some sections are only 3 meters wide, and with sharp curves, the road is constantly covered by fog and rain, further obstructing visibility. Today, despite the existence of modern and safe alternatives, the death road still calls to the brave-hearted, cyclists seeking adrenaline, adventurers thirsty for stories, and fortune seekers who challenge the law. Its infamous reputation has taken an unexpected turn, making it a tourist destination for those seeking extreme experiences. In the ancestral Aymara language, the second most spoken in Bolivia, this place is called Warm Lands, being a fertile transition zone with extraordinary biodiversity between the Andes and the Amazon, closely linked to two natural resources that provoke fascination and controversy: coca and gold. With 12 million inhabitants, Bolivia is located in the center of South America, bordering Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, Peru, and Chile. Bolivia, a nation of resilience and cultural richness, stands at a turning point, advancing towards a promising future thanks to bold economic reforms. For years, the country's development was hindered by successive military dictatorships, whose short-term and authoritarian policies left deep scars on the nation's social and economic fabric. These regimes not only delayed the advance towards modernity, but also deepened inequalities, reflected today in challenging social indicators and a per capita income of around $3,300, one of the lowest in the South American subcontinent. Bolivian history has been marked by the intense activity and interest of large mining and oil corporations. Additionally, Bolivia became involved in territorial conflicts with its Latin American neighbors, resulting in significant territorial losses, including a sovereign exit to the sea. In the heart of South America stands Bolivia, a nation where modernity and tradition blend in a spectacle of diversity and human warmth. The metropolis of La Paz, a hive of urban life, showcases its modernity with towering skyscrapers and bustling shopping centers winding through its labyrinthine streets, offering a striking contrast with the serene and vast natural landscapes that surround it. This country is a welcoming home, where hospitality is the currency among its inhabitants. The latest census reveals that over 60% of the Bolivian population preserves their indigenous roots, heirs to the rich pre-Columbian cultures that have marked the history of these lands. Predominantly settled in rural areas, these people keep their ancestral languages alive, in addition to Spanish. Travelers exploring Bolivia find in Sucre a corner of peace and unusual beauty. Nicknamed the White Capital due to the brightness of its white stone buildings, Sucre proudly holds the title of the constitutional capital of the country, sharing a unique dual capital status with La Paz, the administrative and political heart. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, Sucre invites visitors to get lost among its historic streets, offering a journey through time with its numerous cultural and architectural attractions. Have you ever thought about walking where dinosaurs once did? In Sucre, an adventure awaits that seems straight out of a science fiction novel. The Cretaceous Park, a true Jurassic Park. Here, there is a wall full of dinosaur footprints. If you're wondering how these footprints got so high up, the most sensible explanation is that this large wall was the bottom of a lake 70 million years ago, and with various earthquakes that the Earth has suffered since then, what was the bottom of a lake turned into a mountain? For those venturing through the historic streets of Sucre, the San Felipe Neri convent emerges not only as an architectural landmark, but also as a window into the colonial past of the city. For a modest sum of 20 Bolivianos, or roughly $3, visitors can immerse themselves in a unique cultural experience, touring its corridors and courtyards, under the guidance of experts who reveal the secrets and history that dwell within its walls. As one delves into the culinary and cultural heart of Bolivia, public markets present themselves as vibrant stages of life and tradition. Bolivian cuisine, with its simplicity and homey flavors, offers adventurous palates and invitation to explore at extremely accessible prices. Bolivian empanadas, a jewel of local gastronomy, are found on every corner, tempting passers-by with a variety of fillings that capture the essence of Bolivia in every bite. Corn, another protagonist of the street scene, is enjoyed in its multiple presentations, reflecting the central role it plays in the Bolivian diet. And for those willing to explore unique flavors, products infused with coca leaves, from chocolates to the revitalizing coca tea, offer a different perspective on this ancestral plant, known among locals for its properties in alleviating altitude sickness. This culinary journey not only nourishes the body, but also weaves a deep connection with the culture and traditions of the Bolivian people. In the vast geographical tapestry of Bolivia, to the southwest, unfolds the splendor of the Salar de Uyuni, the largest salt desert in the world, extending over more than 12,000 square kilometers. This landscape, resembling a frozen ocean of immaculate whiteness, offers a vision that challenges the limits of imagination. When the rains visit this place, they transform it into a gigantic mirror that blends sky and earth in an unparalleled spectacle of beauty. The water, covering the salt flat with a thin film, creates a perfect reflection of the clouds during the day and a starry mantle at night, inviting visitors to immerse themselves in a world where dreams are reflected on the ground they walk on. With approximately 10 billion tons of salt, The surface of the salar is so flat that the sky is observed over it as if it were a mirror, offering a unique celestial perspective. This desert is not only a natural wonder but also a premier tourist destination, where human creativity has given rise to hotels built entirely of salt, offering an accommodation experience as unusual as the surroundings. Contrary to the initial impression of desolation, the salar harbors life, being the sustenance of communities that extract salt for industrial use, and a vital refuge for flamingos and various bird species, adding touches of color to the vast whiteness. The Salar de Uyuni is undoubtedly a Bolivian treasure that captures the essence of a planet full of wonders waiting to be discovered. In the magic of Bolivia, Laguna Colorada stands out as a natural gem, where the waters are tinged red by the rich presence of algae and bacteria. In this picturesque setting, flamingos parade, displaying their pink plumage, not by a whim of nature, but as a result of a diet rich in carotenoids found in their habitat. This dance of colors is a spectacle that defies the ordinary and captures the beauty of life adapting to extreme conditions. A short distance away, Lake Titicaca majestically straddles the border between Peru and Bolivia, holding the title of the largest lake in South America and the highest navigable lake in the world, at 3,800 meters above sea level. This vast mirror of water is not only a geographical phenomenon, but also a hub of rich history and culture, where ancient civilizations and modern communities converge. Bolivia is a country of extremes, where altitude is the norm, not the exception. Beyond its impressive lakes, the country hosts active geysers, sky-challenging mountains, and volcanoes that tell stories of a constantly changing Earth. Wild animals, scenes that appear as oases in the desert, and stone sculptures carved by both wind and man. Pumapunku, an enigma carved into human history, continues to amaze the world 2 millennia after its creation. This archaeological site, in the heart of what was the Tiwanaku Empire, stands out not only for its age, but for the astonishing precision with which its stone structures were carved. The sandstone blocks, cut with accuracy that defies comprehension, fit together so perfectly that the use of mortar became unnecessary, a silent testament to a forgotten mastery. Today, replicating such construction feats would require the intervention of advanced technologies and machinery capable of moving and carving colossal rocks. This has led researchers to question how a civilization, apparently without a writing system to record their techniques, achieved such architectural wonders. Some theories suggest the involvement of a much more advanced civilization, while others, in a flight of imagination, have speculated about possible help from extraterrestrial visitors, given the extraordinary precision with which the site's structures were assembled. The mystery of Pumapunku is a blank canvas for speculation and wonder, feeding both science and fantasy, with questions about our ancestors and the capabilities they possessed. Among hypotheses and enigmas, Pumapunku remains a monument to ancient engineering, challenging our understanding of history and pushing us to explore beyond the limits of our current knowledge. Amid the clouds that brush the skies of Bolivia, the Nevado Sajama rises majestically, reigning supreme as the highest point in the country, exceeding 6,500 meters in altitude. This volcano, with almost perfectly symmetrical shapes, not only captures the eye with its imposing beauty, but also holds a sacred place in the hearts of local indigenous communities, who revere it as a spiritual and cultural pillar in their relationship with nature. The climb to its summit is an odyssey that tests endurance and adventurous spirit, but those who dare to challenge its slopes are rewarded with an unparalleled view. From its peak, the panorama of the Bolivian Andes unfolds before the eyes, a tapestry of snowy peaks and deep valleys extending to the horizon, offering a sublime moment of connection with the world. The volcanoes of Bolivia also hold profound cultural and spiritual significance for indigenous peoples, who revere the mountains as the dwelling place of gods and consider them a source of life and energy. In these inhospitable landscapes live curious and culturally significant animals, such as llamas, used for transport, surviving in high altitudes, adverse conditions, and even extreme cold and water scarcity. Exploring Bolivia is diving into a mosaic of natural and cultural wonders, a journey that promises more adventures than could be experienced in a single visit. From the highlands to the Amazon rainforest, each corner displays a unique scene, making this country a living compendium of Earth's diversity. In the heart of Bolivia stands Santa Cruz de la Sierra, the largest city in the country, whose historic center is a treasure of colonial architecture, museums, and cultural spaces that narrate stories of a rich past and a vibrant present. Santa Cruz presents itself as an unmissable destination for those seeking to immerse themselves in the charms of South America, offering an unforgettable experience at a cost that defies all expectations. The adventure in Bolivia is not limited to the challenges of its heights or the vastness of its Amazonian portion, which covers a surprising 43% of the national territory. It is also an invitation to experience the warmth of its people, the richness of its traditions, and the opportunity to travel through this country with a travel economy that makes it accessible to all. Cozy accommodations and reasonably priced transportation facilitate the exploration of its wonders, from snowy peaks to the infinite green of the jungle. Bolivia is establishing itself as a preferred destination for travelers seeking adventure, offering a blend of experiences ranging from cultural to anthropological. It is a country that invites discovery, promising each visitor a journey of unparalleled discovery and wonder. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your like and your comment. See you in the next video.